E-mini playbook, November the 14th, 2023, 7-minute recap. Let's look at the playbook for today, starting with the daily chart. Wow, what a day, what a day, what a day. We have been entertaining the question of whether or not we were going to break through a specific zone. What zone were we looking at? This zone here, when we came off this peak in July and we went down here, bounced up, then we broke through this zone here. So a broken support becomes resistance. So when we bounce back up to it here, we get this move back down. After the move back down, we get this reversal and then we're going back up and we are here. Then the question going into today is whether or not we will have the strength to break through this zone, and we get this definitive answer, yes, we do have that strength. Again, open high low bars, we're showing the open at 44.29. We're showing the close at 45.10. Almost an 100-point day, which is very significant for the E-mini S&P. We are looking at the internal tools that allowed us to monitor that in real time. And even before that, we want to take a step back because when we're entertaining that question, sometimes the market needs a push. And when we look at the activities of today, we see, looking at the calendar, that we had this news coming out this morning, Tuesday, 8:30, and we are seeing that we got the PMI report coming out here. So when we get that catalyst and we back up to 8:30, we are able to see that we had this huge move up from 44.20 area all the way up to the 45.07 area. So sometimes that is the catalyst that we need to set things in motion. But we don't trade news, we observe news and we trade the results. So fast forward to 9:30, the market open. And we're going to do this again. We did this yesterday and it was kind of fun looking at this. And we could call that number one, and then we can draw another one here. So what are we looking at when we look at these two? We will discuss. So let's first look at the advanced decline line, because on the advanced decline line, we get into levels. So we have the zero mark, and then we go above zero to 1,000 to the 1,500 area, and anything in the 1,000 to 1,500 is considered pretty high. If you notice today, we are starting out in the 2,200 range, which is ridiculously high. And we don't go down, we get a slow trickle upwards going all the way until 12 o'clock. All right, so anytime we have an advanced decline line that is that high, it answers the question for us about whether or not we are in a upward trend or whether or not we are going to fizzle out. And when we look at the advanced decline line side by side with price, we see the opening 9:30 here, we get this trickle upwards. So we can call this number one a trend that goes all the way up until we see the advanced decline line fizzling out at 12 and we get this sideways activity. Advanced decline line is a reflection and a predictor of price. So after we get this fizzling out on the advanced decline line, what does the price do? The price also fizzles out and we get this sideways activity. So how does that set up? Because looking at it in hindsight, it's easy to see what occurred. However, when we are in the moment, when it's 9:30 and the market is opening after this big move has happened, and the question is whether or not this move is going to reverse itself or whether it's going to come back, we have the intraday tools that we can look at to answer that question. And the primary tool being the advanced decline line, when we see the move continuing to go up, that's a very strong signal for us. And then we also look at the NICE tick chart. Zero is right here on the tick chart, and we're seeing the majority of the ticks on the NICE tick are ticking above zero. So that's a very good indication that we are in bullish control, and we see it play out as we get this trickle upwards. This gives us the confidence of knowing that we have one side establishing control in the market. And in our system, that's what we look for. We want to ask that question: who is in control and how can we get on their side? And these are the tactics that we use to determine that. So we're seeing very clear this whole entire morning session, there is bullish control, bullish energy in the market. So we are only looking for long trades going into this morning session, and we have ample opportunity from the open at 9:30 all the way up until 12. We're just looking for opportunities, pullbacks, whatever makes sense in terms of our money management and as far as a place to get in. So that's all we're looking for in the morning. And then when we go into number two, which is this trend pause, we don't really know if this is going to pause throughout the day or if it's going to turn back around and go upwards. So we're calling this whole segment from 12 on a trend pause. And we didn't get a exit. We didn't get a continuation. We just got this pause and then we drifted sideways for the majority of the afternoon. So, looking at the tools kept us safe. Looking at the tools answered questions for us about who was in control and which side of the market we wanted to be on. Again, not just relying on this big move this morning because this could have easily reversed itself, but giving us the protection of being able to see what's happening with the indicators that we look at. We can get a confidence that there will be some type of continuation. And then when we see this trickling of the advanced decline line, this gives us from about 12 to I'd say 130 of letting us have a warning that this trend is potentially over. So we're pretty safe either taking profits or coming out and not taking any more long trades. So those are the tools that we use. Hope everyone's getting the eagle eye in terms of looking at the tools and getting an idea of where we stand. Heading into tomorrow, we just came off a very big day. If we consider average true range, today's day was on the higher end of the average true range. 100-point day on the Emini S&P is very strong. So the question becomes, with this move, it puts us closer to the next zone, which is this zone here at around 45.65. Can we get there from 45.11? The question is, what's going to happen in the overnight session to get us either closer to the zone or a pullback that we can go long to get up into this area here. So that's what we're going to be consider where we're going into tomorrow, which is November 15th, Wednesday. All right, exciting times, very good indicators, very good tools and tactics keeping us safe in the markets. Hope everyone traded well. Look forward to tomorrow's session. Have a good night.